For the longest time, I operated under a very specific and very punishing set of assumptions about what it took to survive in my industry and in my life. I was convinced that the world was moving at a speed that required me to be in a state of constant, breathless acceleration just to keep from being left behind in the dust. My internal narrative was dominated by the belief that if I wasn't grinding, I was failing, and that any moment not spent in pursuit of a goal was a moment wasted. Before I began my journey with Gudrun, my entire identity was wrapped up in the push. I thought that the only way to maintain my edge, to keep up with the demands of my career, and to prove my value was to simply exert more force, to work longer hours, and to sacrifice my well-being at the altar of productivity. I viewed my own exhaustion as a badge of honor, a tangible proof that I was giving everything I had, even as I felt myself becoming increasingly hollowed out by the sheer weight of the expectations I had placed upon myself. I was living in a cycle of reactive chaos where every email felt like an emergency and every day felt like a race I was destined to lose. The transformation that occurred once I started working with Gudrun was not an overnight miracle, but rather a profound and steady dismantling of those old toxic beliefs. She challenged me to look at the push not as a tool for success, but as a barrier to it. The most significant and life-altering shift has been the slow, deliberate process of learning how to pause. In the past, the very idea of stopping, even for a few minutes, would trigger a wave of intense anxiety and a crushing sense of guilt. I felt like the moment I stopped moving, the entire structure of my life would come crashing down. But through our work together, I have discovered that the pause is not an absence of action. It is a high-level skill. It is the space where clarity is born and where strategy actually takes root. I am finally learning how to sit in stillness, to breathe, and to recalibrate my focus without that nagging voice in my head telling me I should be doing more. This newfound ability to step back without guilt has completely redefined my relationship with my work and with myself. The ripple effects of this internal shift have been nothing short of extraordinary, touching every single facet of my daily existence. My energy is no longer a finite resource that I burn through by noon. Instead, it has become a managed and sustainable force that carries me through the day with a sense of calm authority. Because I am no longer operating from a place of frantic depletion, my decision-making has undergone a radical upgrade. I am no longer just putting out fires or making choices based on immediate pressure. I am acting with intention, foresight, and a level of composure that I never thought I could possess. Perhaps the most beautiful change, however, has happened within the walls of my own home. For years I was physically present, but mentally miles away. My mind always looping back to my to-do list, even while I was sitting across from the people I love most. Now, because I have learned to master the pause, I can actually show up for my relationships. I am present for the conversations, I am engaged in the moments, and the tension that used to follow me home like a shadow has finally begun to dissipate. My life feels integrated and whole for the first time. If you find yourself trapped in that same relentless cycle of pushing harder and getting nowhere, I want you to know that there is a different way to live and to lead. You don't have to wait until you hit a breaking point to choose a better path. Are you ready for your own transformation? The journey begins with a single step, and you can find the way forward through the link in my bio.